I'm simple-minded, but for me, a ceasefire is what it means, no fire. It's a ceasefire. Well, there have been several incidents since the ceasefire was concluded November 27th from both sides. Do you consider that Israel is or has violated the ceasefire that was concluded last week? And is the mechanism that you had set up actually already set up? And then I wanted to ask you on your reaction, your thoughts on a comment by the Israeli defense minister who said, threatened that Israel would be ready to go deeper into Lebanon and would also not make the distinction anymore between Hezbollah and the Lebanese state. Thank you very much.
So first, the ceasefire itself was the product of intense and sustained diplomacy to get it. But any ceasefire, if it's going to be upheld, needs to have something in place to verify it, to deal with any concerns or allegations of violations of the ceasefire. That's what's so important about what we were able to set up, working with France. We have an oversight mechanism. If there are concerns that one party or the other is violating the ceasefire, it comes to us, and one way or another, we engage the parties. That's exactly what's happened. The ceasefire is holding, and we're using the mechanism that was established when any concerns have arisen about any alleged or purported violations. I think fundamentally, both parties, that is to say Israel and Hezbollah through the Lebanese government, wanted and continue to want the ceasefire. The interest that Israel has in making sure that its people can return home to the north, where some 70,000 have been forced to flee their homes since Hezbollah has been lobbing rockets and missiles into Israel virtually every day since October 7th, is real. The ceasefire and making sure that that's sustained is the best way to do that. I think Israelis recognize as well, from their history, from their experience, 18 years of an occupation of southern Lebanon that ended in 2000, a war in 2006 where they went deeper and stayed longer and suffered losses as a consequence. I think they are very mindful that the best way to having enduring security is through what we've established, a ceasefire, but we have to make sure that it's upheld, and we are determined to do that. France is determined to do that. And I'm not going to speculate about what's going to happen in the future. I can only talk about the clear interests of the parties, and Israel's interest in making sure that the terms of the ceasefire are fully implemented by Hezbollah, and that includes moving Hezbollah back to the north. It includes making sure the Lebanese armed forces are effectively deployed in the south along the border, that they have the authorities, as they do, to deal with arms that they find, to deal with infrastructure that they find, and that we have an effective mechanism, again, to deal with any alleged violations, and, as necessary, make sure that the ceasefire can be enforced. That's where we are. I am, again, very focused on making sure that we carry forward. Let's see where we are after the initial 60 days. But mostly what we want to see is people being able to return to their homes, and that's both in northern Israel and in southern Lebanon.
So you don't consider that there's been any violations so far?
Again, that's the entire purpose of the mechanism we've set up and that's being used, which is to say we get reports of violations, we look at them, we engage the parties, and that's exactly what we've done.
There are reports that some in the press that you have told the Israelis that they are in violation of the ceasefire.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to respond to or get into any private diplomatic conversations that we've had. All I can tell you is the mechanism that we established with France to make sure that the ceasefire is effectively monitored and implemented is working, and we want to make sure it continues to work.